In this video news update about Tesla's Giga Berlin, we're going to look at the facts, talk about the risks and opportunities for Tesla in Berlin. Deforestation, water consumption, workers' rights. There are many criticisms of the Tesla factory that is to be built in Grünheide. German RBB24's Philipp Barnstorf has published a very nice and complete story with a fact check and an inventory of the risks and opportunities that Tesla's huge Gigafactory 4 project entails. And we're going to talk about that. So hello everyone, this is Armen Harayan from torquenews.com. Before we move on, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss my next Giga Berlin news update, which are coming usually 2 or 3 times a day. Please also like this video to show your appreciation to all the people who helped me to bring these reports to you. Half a million electric cars will soon roll off the Tesla Giga Berlin assembly line in Grünheide, manufactured by up to 12,000 employees. It could be the largest industrial settlement in Brandenburg since the turn of the century. The hopes around the Tesla factory are gigantic. Imagine the impact. There is talk of the reindustrialization of the east of Germany, and this time it should be environmentally friendly, with Brandenburg as a pioneer in the energy and transport transition. On the other hand, citizens fear increasing traffic, some environmental groups criticize deforestation, and unions warn of exploitation in the workplace. But which hopes are justified? Which fears are to be taken seriously? This is what we're going to talk about. Please keep watching because this is going to be a very interesting report. It was interesting for me too, having reported every day about Tesla Giga Berlin, but still this was very interesting for me as well. So when do things happen? Let's talk about the timetable that has been coming since last November until now. In November 2019, Tesla's boss Elon Musk announced the construction of a gigafactory near Berlin. And in December, an application for a building permit of almost 2,000 pages had already been submitted to the State Office for the Environment. These documents have now been displayed by yesterday. There were about 270 objections to the Tesla Giga Berlin plan by Thursday evening, which was the deadline for submitting the criticism. The deadline for objections ended at midnight. All of these appeals will be discussed publicly in Erkner at 10 a.m. on March 18. This is an important day for Tesla. For this, the city administration of Erkner blocked the city hall for 2 days. Well, after all, only 800 people fit in there. Imagine how many people may be interested to come to this discussion. Only after this hearing can the State Environment Agency issue the building permit for Tesla Giga Berlin. The building permit is expected to come by this summer. However, if the approval of all the authorities involved is likely, the State Environment Agency can allow so-called early action earlier. Because of this, Tesla has been able to clear 90 hectares of forest because of this early action earlier. This is why Tesla took the risk. However, if contrary to expectations, the building application is not approved, Tesla must plant the forest again at its own expense. So Tesla is taking a big risk here. The groundbreaking ceremony announced would also be such an early measure. The groundbreaking that is announced at the end of this month is an early measure too. It is scheduled to take place in the second half of March. The current building application only includes the first stage of expansion of the factory. The Tesla plant could grow with further expansion stages in the future. However, new approval documents would then have to be submitted and approved for this purpose, for the expansion. The company wants to make further expansion stages dependent on the success of the factory. In fact, currently you may know that Gigafactory Shanghai is expanding with a new phase of construction which started, I think, last week or this week. Now keep watching, please. This is going to be more interesting because it's going to become more interesting. Now let's talk about the topic of the forest. I'm going to now talk about all the topics that have been part of the discussion. The pine forest originally covered the 300 hectares of Tesla property. For the first stage of expansion, 90 of these have been cleared and in recent weeks. Another 60 hectares are to be followed in the fall. Around 200 people, many from the Tesla Critical Citizens initiatives, have repeatedly protested the clearing of the pine forest. We talked about that. The NADU local association is also critical of the clearing. Members of the Green League and a Bavarian club that also criticizes the renewable energies had interrupted the clearing work in the meantime by urgent application. They have interrupted the clearing work, and you know there was a court order a few weeks ago. The fact is, however, that the vast majority of nature conservation associations consider deforestation of the pine trees to be ecologically justifiable if new trees are planted elsewhere. By law, Tesla is required to replant the cleared forest elsewhere. The Brandenburg Area Agency has already found areas all over the country for this purpose. These mixed forests on the Brandenburg's sandy soil, which I talked about in one of my previous reports today, that the Brandenburg's soil is sandy. So these mixed forests on Brandenburg's sandy soil are rather unusual and ecologically more valuable than the otherwise common pine forests because more animal species find home here. Now, the next issue is the issue of new habitat for bats. Tesla has also announced that it will upgrade the forest in Brandenburg beyond this regular required level of putting another forest elsewhere. Overall, a balance ratio of 3:1 is aimed for. That's Tesla's balance ratio. 3 forests for 1 forest cut. 3 trees for each tree cut. In the partially cleared forest on the Tesla side, there are some endangered animals that have to be relocated. Almost 400 of the felled trees were suitable as bat habitats. To compensate, Tesla plans to install around 400 bat boxes in neighboring forests. Bats were actually hibernated in 4 trees. This is why in some of the images that we have been showing in our report, you may have seen a tree left here and there. These were bat hibernated habitats. These trees have therefore not yet been felled. When the bats wake up, they should be moved to the new nestling boxes in the area. In the same way, 4 ant hills will soon be relocated also. Finally, there are also some lizard species on a former dump. For them, replacement habitats are to be built on neighboring plots of land in which the lizards are then relocated. Remember in one of my previous reports I said this is for lizard fans, and some have said, no, there is no lizards there. But yes, there are. Drought summer and the subject of water. That's what I'm going to talk about now. Water supply is one of the most controversial issues that provoked fierce opposition from a local citizens initiative. In the issued approval documents, Tesla specified a maximum water consumption of 372 cubic meters per hour. That is about 3.3 million cubic meters a year, which roughly corresponds to the annual consumption of a city with 70,000 inhabitants. Can you imagine this? Tesla factory alone, Giga Berlin alone, would spend more waters, as much waters as a city with 70,000 inhabitants. In response to the local discussion, Tesla has since made improvements and now wants to install air cooling rather than water cooling. This means that the Giga Berlin plant will only consume a maximum of 2 million cubic meters of water a year. Remember, it used to be 3.3, now it's 2 million cubic meters of water per year. Now let's talk about expanding the water works. They need to be expanded as well. The local water association Strausberg-Eckner, it's called WSE, currently pumps around 10 million cubic meters of water annually, supplying around 160,000 people in the area. The WSE expects that in the future it will not only have to supply Tesla, but also moving industries and the growing population. Imagine how many industries will come in that area because they will supply things and the population will grow. That is why it applied, the WSE, the water organization, applied for permission from the State Ministry of Environment to mine 18 million cubic meters of water a year. To do this, it would have to expand its waterworks in Erkner and Patershagen against Horf. Approval from the State Environmental Ministry is still pending. With this solution, no well would have to be drilled on the Tesla site. So you cannot touch the site from Giga Berlin. That would also be difficult because part of the site is in a drinking water protection area. So you see how many issues come inside. You have to provide water, you have to take care of the animals. But now let's talk about wastewater. According to the approved documents, the factory, the Gigafactory, will produce up to 2 million cubic meters of wastewater per year. That's too much for the local wastewater treatment plant to handle. The WSE is therefore planning to build a sewage pipe according to Erkner, in the Erkner area. From there, the wastewater is to be pumped via existing pipes to the Münchenhof sewage treatment plant, which is 15 kilometers away. That's about 10 miles away. This belongs to the Berliner Wasserbetrieb, and so for also to cleanse a lot of wastewater from Berlin. Instead, the Berlin wastewater is to be cleaned in the Wassermannsendorf sewage treatment plant. Lots of complications to manage the 2 million cubics of wastewater that Tesla will produce. 2 million cubics of water will need to be used, 2 million will be produced. Now let's talk about the price of the land. Ridiculous price for the property and express approval. The state government is doing its utmost for Tesla, to help Tesla. In order to complete the approval process as quickly as possible, the state government created a task force. The economics minister admitted to the leading German language business newspaper Handelsblatt that the government could not offer such a pace to every company. The staff were missing for that. The price Tesla has to pay to the state of Brandenburg for the 300 hectares of property may also initially seem cheap. A report published in early March sets the price at 43.4 million euros. This corresponds to 14.35 euros per square meter. However, the standard land value for 1 square meter at the neighboring Friedbrink Freight Center is 40 euros. 40 euros versus 14.35 euros. But you don't have to clear there before you start building. In addition, Friedbrink is already connected to electricity, water, and sewage networks. You have seen from our previous reports that Tesla still has to lay the lines at its own expense, connect it to water, bring electricity, turn the power finally the country has been looking for an investor in the property, for this property, for almost 20 years. That should also have influenced the price. That's why the price has been very cheap, because the German government has been looking for an investor for this property for almost 20 years. Tesla is treated in exactly the same way as everyone else. As early as November 2019, the company applied for funding from the State Investment Bank. If Tesla invests 4 billion euros, about 4 or 5 billion euros is the price of the Gigafactory that cost in China. So if Tesla invests for 4 billion euros in Brandenburg, as announced, a good 100 to 270 million euros is subsidized, could flow according to the general applicable key. The EU must have to have a say in such large amounts of funding. The decision will therefore probably not be made until next year, said Andrea Bayerlein from the Ministry of Agriculture. Tesla has also applied to the federal government for funding for battery research. Further subsidies could go to the training of skilled workers. Now let's talk about the workers' right. 80 hours a week and no unions. Employees at the Tesla plant in Fremont, California, in one of our earlier reports, reported 80 hours a week and poor pay. You remember this was a big news. Tesla prevented the formation of a union there. In Germany too, Tesla had clashed with IG Metall when it demanded higher wages for a German auto supplier that Tesla had taken on. IG Metall warns that the company can prevent employees from founding a workers' union. It also fears, or some type of workers' council. It also fears that Tesla will undermine wages through low-paid Polish work. The Brandenburg Minister of Economic Area, Jörg Steinbach, confirmed to the FAZ that many, but probably not more than half of the workers for the Giga Berlin will come from Poland. Poland is not far if you look at the map. Steinbach also explained that Tesla had to face the issue of collective wages and participation. The company merely stated, Tesla merely stated that it, quote, wanted to pay competitive prices and stand out from competitors through special bonuses, unquote. So as you can see, there are lots of issues. The issue of the land, a forest, replanting the forest, water, wastewater, the price, the workers' issue, but the work is going on and Tesla is moving on with taking a lot of risks, but many people want to see that Gigafactory built there. This is going to be impacting the German automotive industry in many good ways, and I have a report on a Torque News YouTube channel you can watch in what ways Tesla will impact the Gigafactory. So this is going to be very interesting. I shared a lot of information today and I thank all the people who have provided this information. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Please like this video to show your appreciation for all the supporters who have provided this information. And I'll see you in my next reports. Please subscribe to this channel and stay in touch because I'm going to bring you a lot of interesting things about Giga Berlin. Have a blessed day.